Welcome everyone to the AM 6-hour Enduro for 2019. It's been a great day of racing, but sadly it's almost over. Let's check in with Team Driver's Ed to see where they are at this stage of the race. After a powerhouse stint in KART 5, Matthew was able to jump in KART 17 and still maintain the lead. However, Team Slideways made their final pit stop and was able to get in KART 5. But unfortunately, we had to make one final pit stop, resulting in Team Slideways getting back around us in the pits. Now let's see if I can use my final stint to get back around the leader. Well, if you can't tell, as soon as I jumped in this kart, I got passed on the back straight by two other karts, which means this kart had bad acceleration, which was a shame because we've had 4 great stints throughout the entire race. Now, with this being my final stint, it was up to me to hold down P2. Shaking my head because the team that I've passed many times this race is now leaving me on the back straight. Of course I can keep up with them in the corners, but on the back straights it's nearly impossible. Try to late brake into this last corner, finally get around, and try and use as much momentum as possible to increase the gap. Since we had to make one final stop, we pulled into the pits with only 50 seconds between first and second. At that time, Team Slideways got around us for the lead. I tried to make my pit stop as quick as possible, so I did not have a radio this time. And it didn't really matter because this was the last stint, and there was no real need for information. However, when I got out there and I didn't realize I was in a bad kart, and I was passing the balcony and didn't even see any of my teammates or crew, I was starting to get a little worried as to what's going on out here. Are we still in the lead? What's happening? They saw the lap times I was running, which was around 72s, and they basically just stopped watching the race. So I was out there all by myself. I had no idea what was going on. Couldn't find my teammates on the balcony. Didn't have a radio. All I knew that I just had to finish the stint out and hope for the best. Sliding close to the inside, we're both bunny hopping up the hill to get all this momentum out. He points me by on the inside for the pass. It's a drag race up the hill. Who's gonna win? Luckily, I have the inside, so I got the pass. This kart doesn't have the momentum. As you can see, he's getting me on the straights. There's nothing I can really do right now but to just hang with him and see if I can get in his draft and get a little bit more out of this kart. Shaking my head because I just can't believe our final stint for Team Driver's Ed was in a dud kart. I can hang with these guys in the corners, but it's just on the straights, there's just no way for me to get around. Thankfully, he gives me the wave by. Trying to stay in his draft. Let's see what happens. Go a little wide because I'm trying to carry as much speed as I can into the corners. tucking my head down on the straight just to eliminate any drag I can on the kart. Another driver lets me by. Thanks, man. So that about does it for this stint in the race. Unfortunately, the GoPro battery died, and I was unable to get the part where Nick from Fortress of Solitudes and myself crossed the finish line together, P2 and P3. 2 out-of-town teams finishing strong on the podium. What a great feeling. And now for the ceremony, as we crown the winners from the light and heavy class.
Second place, with a total of 301 laps. In the second half of the race. Really? Driver's ed. In first place, with a total of 302 laps. Slideways.
It felt great standing back on that podium as we got a second place trophy for finishing in the 6-hour Enduro. From second to last to second overall. Popping that champagne felt great. And now let's recognize the teams that won. For P1, Slideways in light and Tri-State Racing in heavy. For P2, Driver's Ed in light and VERISTOR Racing for heavy. And finally, P3, Fortress of Solitudes for light and Kicking Asphalt for heavy. And now for the final results. It was such a great event that Team Driver's Ed will be back for the 8-hour in July and the 10-hour in October with our additional driver Jared Parker. We're looking forward to finishing strong on the podium with that hope for the overall win. As always, please like and subscribe to the channel for more videos to come. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the track.